Welcome back to another episode of Train for Life Fitness Podcast.
Glad to be here.
So today we are looking at a hard truth that, honestly, it might actually relieve some of the guilt you've been carrying around.
Oh, definitely. People carry a lot of guilt about this stuff.
Right, because the reason you aren't building muscle or shedding fat or, seeing the results you want, it isn't necessarily because you aren't working hard enough.
No, not at all.
In fact, it's almost certainly because you are spending way too much time in the gym. So our mission for this deep dive is to completely dismantle the way you approach your workouts.
It's a complete mindset shift.
Yeah. We're relying on this really comprehensive guide and some great visual resources from Lët'z. And the goal here is transforming you from someone who is just, exercising to someone who is actually training.
And, there's a massive biological distinction between those two concepts.
Right. They sound the same, but they aren't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because exercising is, it's just burning calories and sweating. But training is applying a very specific, calculated stress to your body to force a biological adaptation.
I love how the Lët'z material frames this fundamental problem, actually.
Oh, the car analogy. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, going to the gym without a plan is basically like driving without a map. You will move, sure, you're burning fuel and creating friction on the tires, but you won't get very far.
Right, you aren't navigating anywhere. You need a roadmap. And, in the fitness world, that roadmap is your workout split.
Okay, so let's establish exactly what that means, because before we get into the exact days and exercises, we need to define this. A split kind of sounds like industry jargon, right?
It does, yeah.
But mechanically speaking, what is actually happening when we divide up our training days?
Well, a workout split is simply the strategic division of your workouts across your week. You're dictating exactly which muscle groups you train on specific days. And more importantly, exactly how much recovery time your body gets.
Yeah.
It's a strict schedule of when you are legally required to rest, basically.
Which means a split is really a recovery schedule disguised as a workout schedule.
That is exactly what it is, yeah.
I really like framing it that way. But okay, before we get into the physiology, we have to tackle the biggest barrier stopping you from starting, the "I have no time" excuse.
Oh, yeah. The classic roadblock.
Right. And saying you have no time to implement a split is, it's like saying you have no money while buying a $7 coffee every single day.
That is a harsh truth for a lot of people.
It is. But it's about auditing your resources. And the Lët'z guide takes a tough love approach here. They basically ask you to calculate the hours you waste, like just blindly scrolling on your phone, versus prioritizing your health.
Yeah, it's about building the future version of yourself. Discipline and a plan that fits your life are required, not, endless free time.
Exactly. And there's this great visual in the source material of a woman physically checking off days on this massive calendar with a giant marker.
I love that image. It shows intense intentionality.
Right. She's not waiting to see if she has free time. She is architecting her week. So now that we've kind of dismantled the whole no time excuse, let's explore exactly how to divide those days based on your specific level.
Yeah, let's start with the baseline, the 3-day beginner approach.
Because a lot of busy professionals can really only dedicate 3 days a week to this, right?
Absolutely. And the guide emphasizes that you don't need full body workouts every single time you step into the gym. You could do the bro split variation, for example.
Which is what exactly?
So day 1 is chest and triceps. Day 2 is your back and biceps. And day 3 is solely focused on your legs.
Okay, let me just play devil's advocate for the listener here.
Go for it.
Wait, is 3 days really enough to see results, or is this just a watered-down plan? If I do legs on Wednesday and don't touch them again for a week, isn't that too much rest?
It seems like it, right? But the source has a core rule here. Consistency and effort matter far more than your current fitness level.
Okay, so it's about the intensity of that one day.
Exactly. Or, if you don't want to do the bro split, there's the push-pull leg split stretched across 2 weeks. Or even just a simple upper-lower rotation.
I see. So there are options. But what about when that stops working? When we need to scale up to the intermediate or advanced levels?
Right. So that would be moving up to 4 to 5 days a week. This level offers a really great balance of intensity and recovery.
So what are the strategies there?
You might do that upper-lower split, but twice a week. Or do the push-pull routine with extra volume. And this is also where you start combining strength days with hypertrophy days.
And for those who want absolute precision, the guide mentions 5 to 6 days for the advanced tier, right?
Yeah, the 5 to 6 day split. That's for targeting every single muscle group. You're doing body part splits, like a day just for chest, a day for back, legs, arms, shoulders.
Or the hybrid splits, right? mixing in core, cardio, or mobility.
Exactly.
And the visuals really capture this, from the woman doing heavy barbell squats to the intense full-body conditioning of that guy flipping the massive tractor tire.
Oh yeah, that tire flipping photo is so gritty. It perfectly represents the heavy central nervous system load of advanced training.
It really does. But, after detailing these rigorous 5 to 6 day schedules, I feel like a listener might think they just need to live in the gym.
And that is the exact opposite of what the guide recommends.
Right. So let's pivot to the counterintuitive reality of recovery. Because doing more is actually counterproductive if it isn't balanced properly.
This is honestly the major aha moment from the text.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, because your body builds strength and burns fat while you are recovering, not while you are training.
Wait, say that again? Because people need to hear that.
Your body builds muscle on the couch, not in the gym. More isn't always better. Better is better.
So what are the golden rules of recovery then? The absolute non-negotiables.
Well, rule number 1, never train the same muscle group on back-to-back days.
Okay, makes sense. What else?
Always include at least one rest or active recovery day in your week. And finally, scale back if you feel constantly tired or sore.
And we should point out the source doesn't just focus on lifting weights. Like, we see the women pictured with barbells and dumbbells, sure, but there's a holistic view of total fitness here.
Right. Total fitness is built on 3 pillars.
Let's break those down. First is strength training. That builds muscle, boosts your metabolism, improves your body shape.
Yep, that's the foundation. Pillar 2 is cardio and conditioning.
Right, represented by that image of the woman running on the treadmill. That supports fat loss, heart health, stamina.
Exactly. And the third pillar, which people skip constantly, is mobility and stretching.
Yeah, why is that so important?
Because it prevents injuries and dramatically improves recovery. Even one short mobility session a week keeps you moving better.
Okay, so we have the perfect split. We have our 3 pillars, our recovery plan. But what happens when it stops working?
Because it will. No plan stays perfect forever.
Right, so how do we track and tweak this for long-term consistency? What are the red flags we need to watch out for?
You have to listen to your body. The guide lists a few specific red flags to know when it's time to change your split.
Like what?
Sudden energy dips are a big one. Also, if you hit plateaus in your strength or endurance.
Like you're just stuck lifting the exact same weight for weeks?
Exactly. And the third red flag is soreness that just won't go away. Lingering joint pain or aches.
I kind of compare this to driving a car. If the check engine light comes on, which in this case are those energy dips and that lingering soreness, you don't just press the gas pedal harder out of frustration.
Right, that would destroy the engine.
You pull over and adjust. And the source stresses this too. You have to tweak the plan based on physical feedback, never on emotion or impatience.
That is the whole philosophy of Let's Roar. They focus heavily on personalized fitness plans over those generic one-size-fits-all routines.
Because the best plan is simply the one that fits your life. Well, to summarize all of this, consistency and structure always win. A good split keeps you on track, helps you avoid injuries, ensures proper recovery, and ultimately delivers faster progress.
Yeah, and actually, before we finish up, I want to leave the listener with a final concept to sort of mull over.
Oh, I like a good provocateur thought. What do you got?
Well, we've spent this entire time talking about physical splits, right? Intentionally stressing a muscle and then scheduling targeted recovery so it grows stronger.
Right.
What if we apply this exact same split methodology to our intellectual or professional lives?
Oh, wow.
Think about it. Imagine scheduling specific days for deep cognitive stress and then following that up with strict mandatory mental recovery days.
So like a heavy lifting day for your brain followed by a total rest day.
Yeah. Could structuring our minds like we structure our muscles be the ultimate cure for burnout?
That is a really fascinating way to look at it. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, and in the meantime, let's roar.